think the South-South geopolitical.
The South-South already?
Yeah, Majid.
Majid? Are they already there?
Yeah, sure. I think the first stopover was at Aba. Actually, they visited Aba, they visited the governor of Abia State, and the same day they actually went to Rivers to visit the governor of Rivers State, Governor Wiki. So I think the visit is on course, and the deliberations are taking place right now in that part of the country.
What is the intention of their visit? I mean, let's look at it critically. What impact is it supposed to create?
Well, the truth of the matter is, I'm very happy, and a lot of people are glad about this particular move. You know why? What the Southeast needs today is not show of force, it is show of love. And that is actually what is playing out right now. They have, by this move, looked beyond Nnamdi Kanu's vituperations, Nnamdi Kanu's negative tendencies, to the real issues of agitation, to the perceived feelings of marginalization and exclusion of the people, of the genuine Nigerians living in that part of the country. And by doing this, this is in fact the only panacea to lasting peace and security in that part of the country. They have shown the Southeast that they are loved. You know, imagine 5 governors led by the chairman of Northern Governors Forum, Alhaji Kashim Shettima of Borno, taking upon themselves this short-term diplomacy to the South-South and the Southeast to douse tension, to discuss. You see, all conflicts must necessarily end on the negotiation table. Now, they are starting this negotiation to prevent a crisis that might escalate beyond our control. So it is very commendable, and this is what is expected of political leaders across the board. Nigerians living in the Southeast are not just Igbos, they are Nigerians. They are as Nigerian as any other part of this country, and they must be shown love. The only way you can bring them closer to Nigeria and take them further away from Nnamdi Kanu's IPOB and in separate agitation is to show them love, that they are wanted within the federation, within the Commonwealth of Nigeria, that they are appreciated, that they are loved.
But Majid, if we're talking about love, how do you classify love in this case? I mean, a while ago it was about infrastructure and lack of certain attention given to the Southeast. Now you're talking about love. Is it just the mutual love by simply the appearance of governors in that region?
There is a level of reassurance in the spoken word.
But are the governors responsible for the Southeast?
No, they are leaders of the people from the other part of the country. That if you notice, the agitation appears to have pitched the Southeast against the North. So this move is very important. You see, Nigerians are trying to take back their country away from politics, away from partisan divides. They are trying to take back their country. For example, the Southeast governors took a very commendable step in proscribing all activities of IPOB, because following the military operation in the Southeast, IPOB went violent, of course attacking Nigerians of northern origin in the East, Southeast. So it was necessary first that the governors proscribed IPOB, because they are trying to show that we are not part of your attack against Nigerians of other regions that are resident in the Southeast.
Wealth doesn't seem to agree. I obviously can see his reaction from here.
I'm not really, no, not really that I do not agree, but the real issues, for me, those are not the real issues. In conflict and security studies, what the government, or what those governors have done is what could be termed loosely peacemaking. Because peacemaking are deliberate efforts to temporarily halt an ongoing violence. But what Nigeria needs is peace building. Yes, I must say it's commendable what the governors have done. They are patriotic, at least, to restore hope, to build bridges. But it's just a temporary thing. Peacemaking, because of course we have different approaches towards maintaining peace and conflict resolution. We have the peacemaking, we have the peacekeeping, which was what the military did. But the most ultimate is peace building. And within peace building, in 1992, former United Secretary General Brutus Gali came up with a concept of setting an agenda for peace, which was in alignment to scholars like John Galton, which I aligned myself structurally that for there to be peace in the society, that the structural incoherence must be adjusted. And in this, in the agenda, certain agenda in 1992, he said, that is in the report of Brutus Gali, he said, all efforts taken, that is peace building, meant to solidify and to concretize peace. Now, in this come justice, in this come restructuring, in my balance now, in this come the rule of law. Yes, the efforts of the government are commendable, but will this visit, will the tea coffee meetings address the issues of injustice? Will these tea coffee meetings address the issues of marginalization? Now the cross of matter is, if we must build peace, then it's a web chain, it's a gamut process. Governance, good governance. Yes, it sounds like a cliche because every day I come here and preach, but you can't, if you're versed in conflict studies, that you can't, because most conflicts in the society are foundation upon bad structure. So for me, I would rather suggest that yes, it's a first step, peacemaking, but it should be taken further to ensure that peace is being built.
We are being joined by Barrister Idris Bauer. We're not just going to keep him in the studio without speaking. I think you made mention of certain things like peacemaking and peacemaking and peace building. There's a difference, right? Peacekeeping as well. But I know even in the courts we have case settling and case ending. But that's not what we're going to be talking about. Barrister Idris Bauer, welcome to the show and thank you for joining us on X-Ray.
Thank you very much.
What is your thoughts about the decision of the Northern Governors? We also know it was part of the resolution of the Eastern Governors to run sort of an exchange kind of program, just like what the Northern Governors have tried to do as well. What is your impression about it?
Very commendable. Very commendable. I'll start from before the Northern Governors made those visits, certain issues or certain facts played out. We saw what happened in Kano, where the youths were encouraged to wear the attires of our brothers in the eastern part, and they marched around the streets of Kano showing solidarity, meaning no reprisal attack. Which is
very uncommon in that part of the country.
In that part of the country. And that was a plus for me. Again, the move by the governors, very commendable. Just like our colleague said here, is one step. We have other steps that will follow. What they are agitating for, how do we address that? How do we curb some of these excesses?
But is that why they are visiting? Because it looks to me as if they are visiting because of the attacks on their fellow citizens or indigents. Why are they exactly visiting?
I will tell you from my understanding, the visit is whole lot. One, they will meet the people from other tribes who are in the eastern part to tell them we are solid behind you, nothing is going to happen and all of that. Again, they will meet some of the leaders, religious leaders, political leaders, to tell them why there is need for peace. Without peace first, you can't even talk about the development we are all looking for. Without that peace, you can't even talk about how to move forward, the restructuring they are claiming for, all of that. So the first move is to address, calm every person down, say we are all one, we need to understand where we are coming from and all of that. In all of this, I think it is, for me, one very good thing that there's a kind of what I'll call a wake-up call. A wake-up call for us to start doing what is right.
So, Majid, do you think that the Easterners will accept this? How do you see this playing out?
The Easterners are very peace-loving people. I can say this as a Nigerian. What you see playing out today should have come earlier. But thank God Nigerians, as I've told you, from both divides, have taken their country back, away from partisan politics. Let me take you down memory lane. In 1979, just less than 9 years, or less than 10 years after the end of the Civil War, something like this happened. There was an immense show of love towards Nigerians of Southeast origin. So much such that the vice presidency of the country was zoned to that part of the country. The speakership was there. Even Ojukwu, who was the leader of the secessionist movement, was granted pardon and handed over the senatorial party platform in his own senatorial to contest for an election. Guess what happened, Peter? Because of the immense show of love that the Nigerian state actually displayed towards the Nigerians of Southeast origin, Ojukwu lost an election in the southeast, just 9 years after the Civil War. The head of state of the secessionist Biafra state. You know why? They felt so much attached to the Nigerian state. In fact, they felt so Nigerian that they didn't even want to have anything to do with the former head of state of the Biafran Republic. That shows you how inclusivity, how collectiveness can work magic. You didn't hear of Biafra agitation in 1979. You couldn't hear of it because everybody was given a sense of belonging.
Are you saying they are not being given the sense of belonging now?
You cannot question somebody's sense of feeling aggrieved. It's not in our place to rationalize whether or not they are given a sense of belonging. But the fact is, they are saying we are not given a sense of belonging today. Now, the best thing for us to do is what the governors are doing now. And let me tell you, the meeting, a very important meeting held before this move by northern governors, where it was decided that, look, there are agitations over the country by northern governors. The Emir of Kano was prominently in that meeting. In fact, it was at that meeting he found his voice after a long while in the public space, where they said, we acknowledge that there are genuine grievances all over the country. And as northerners, we are ready to now sit down, come with our own position on these genuine grievances for the sake of continued peace and security of our country. We are one. We are committed to peace. It was there that the decision was taken as well that all political leaders in the north must make sure that the crisis do not spread to the north by way of repetition attacks. That's why you saw in the last few days a lot of northern governors receiving in government houses delegation of Igbo leaders resident in the north, all over the north.
We have seen cases where certain governors in the southwest have seemingly, identified with the cause of the IPOB, but we are not seeing such efforts as much as what the northern governors have done.
I do not think they are sympathizing with IPOB. What I think they are doing is, look, we are looking beyond IPOB into the genuine grievances of the ordinary people, the real people. The people like Professor Benoit Beze, these are respected Nigerians that do not want to pull down this country. But when they say we are aggrieved, the first thing is to go and ask them, what are you aggrieved about? If your grievance behind closed door, behind the whisperings, you feel it is not enough for them to support such agitations, you explain to them with love, with care. You see, you explain to somebody that, look, it's a misinformation. This is not deliberate against you. It's just a coincidence. Sorry about that anyway. This can avert a whole crisis. This must be done. It's been done now. These issues will be discussed. Mistakes are made on both sides. Nnamdi Kanu should not be an issue in this discussion. You know why? It's an aberration that was thrown up by the system. And the best way to neutralize Nnamdi Kanu, to take the fire out of Nnamdi Kanu's flames, to show love to the Southeast people. Let me tell you why this move is. I'm very excited. This move is very important. As a young Nigerian, Nigeria must remain one because we are better together. However, there must be justice. Everybody must be given a sense of belonging. It's important. And that we are not from that part of the country does not mean we must not sympathize.